Seems like there is something magical about playing old PC games on an old PC, in this case on an old Sony mini handheld PC from 2006, and even though it only has single core CPU and 1GB of RAM, it can still run plenty games at full speed. The only issue being the controls, cause they were not exactly designed for gaming, to say the least, so it's gonna be a bit challenging, but I like a good challenge. I've picked different genres games to have more fun, and let's start with old school classic, GTA 3. It can run this game around full speed at 640 by 480 resolution. The driving part is quite easy, but there is not much precision cause the buttons are really tiny. Let's quickly jump out of the car and let's attack some fellow NPC. Here I was able to kick his ass even with these weird knob third-person controls. It wasn't as catastrophical, in fact it was pretty enjoyable. By the way, if you wanna know more about this PC or see more gaming on it, check my latest video. I covered all its groundbreaking features in there and I've tried plenty games. Here we try different ones. As a second one, let's check a Need for Speed Underground 2. It runs natively in 640 by 480 resolution and it runs again at full speed. I haven't noticed any slowdowns. The music wasn't stuttering, it really got my blood pumping.
She's all rock steady, bam blam.
I don't think I would be able to win some races with these default controls. Maybe if I would be able to remap them. Wait, this is a PC game with great customizability, so I can do that. Now it feels way better. I'm certainly able to win some races, perhaps not the full game, but some races for sure. Third is Enter the Matrix. This game surprisingly was giving me a lot of headaches. It was running very slow. I switched off all I could, set every toggle to minimum. Still, the only difference that I was seeing was that I kinda broke the game. So let's rather move on to the fourth title, Original Half-Life. In my latest video, I was trying Half-Life Source. That one was kinda slow, so I thought why not to try Half-Life for modern systems, Zash 3D. Even though this mini PC is not really modern, it runs Windows XP, still it was able to run it at full speed at 800 by 600 resolution. Even the loading times were, in my opinion, excessively fast, like second and a half. That's really impressive in my opinion for this kind of hardware. It has SSD but only 1GB of RAM. Looks like Zash 3D was built for retro systems as well as for modern systems in mind. Big thumbs up. First-person controls were kind of hard for this setup, but as long as I was just walking forward and looking around, it was okay. If I was meant to shoot at the people as well, that would be a bit more trickier. Topic for this video was chosen by my dear Patreons and members.
Every time that I see new channel member, I wanna tell you big thank you. Makes me feel like I'm playing the Need for Speed Underground 2. Juli lost twice, big shout out to you.
Yeah, big shout out to you, Juli, this channel first female member. I appreciate it. After Zash 3D, I have tried Fallout 2. I have manually installed it, launched it, and it gave me error about initializing 1024 by 768 resolution. Luckily, in the folder, I found config file where I was able to go down to 640 by 480. Then the game launched without any issues. I was thinking Fallout would be quite nice fit for touch-based stylus screen. I was wrong. I wasn't able to control the mouse cursor with the stylus, only with the knob, and that made everything so much more difficult. It made it almost unplayable, which is a shame, cause right after I have tried Caesar 3, and here I was kinda able to use stylus for playing the game. It has its own issues, but at least it was able to register stylus as a mouse input, and that made my short playthrough so much more fruitful. Few people were asking me how do you go about installing games on this mini PC. Steam doesn't work, so I did it the old school way. My brother's old CDs and DVDs came in very handy. I've just copied the game to the USB, plugged it into the PC, and installed it, or just copied over in case the game was able to run without installation. I have also this really great idea of installing my old games via external optical drive. Unfortunately, the USB haven't provided enough power for the device to spin the disk. It only opened the drive and then the drive disappeared. Which is a really shame, because I really wanted to install at least one game like this. Next we have Alien vs Predator, one of my favorites. Again, controls were kinda sketchy, because it's a first-person shooter, you know, but it runs at silky smooth frame rate at 640 by 480 resolution, which is again very impressive. I killed few Marines, then I got killed because I equipped medication needles instead of a weapon. Good old me. Then I have installed Hexen 2. I thought it was normal Hexen, but it was GL Hexen 2, a special accelerated version that runs on some OpenGL based 3D cards. Judging by its slideshow performance, this integrated graphics card doesn't support it. Last but not least, Halo Combat Evolved. It's just a trial, a demo, but I think we got from it a good idea about performance and playability. And it was quite slow. I set it to 640 by 480 and switched off everything I could. It was kinda playable, but the controls were not at all. They were really killing me. I was craving a good alien kill, so I have decided to connect my normal Xbox style controller. I have mapped all the buttons, and now it was so much better. Still not exactly full speed, but for single core and 1 GB of RAM, big respect. My hopes were quite high after latest video where I was able to successfully emulate some PSP games, but as I found out, the emulation on old PCs is hard. Insanely hard. I have installed NullDC, old 32-bit Windows Dreamcast emulator. All I was getting were glitches and really low speeds. Project 64, an old N64 emulator, didn't even launch. And EPCSXE was also just pissing me off with errors, and it made me realize how great native games are. And you know what makes them even better, even greater? When you can play them on true PC, no emulation. It feels almost as if I put the physical disc into my old PC and soaked all the retro goodness. Nothing compares to you, their old PC games. If you've enjoyed this video and you wanna see more like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you feel extra generous, join. Thanks to you for watching, thanks to all of my supporters, peace out.
So, you beat the Halo demo. Not bad, soldier, not bad at all. But are you ready to take the next step? In the full version of Halo, you'll find additional vehicles like tanks, plasma turrets, and aircraft. Powerful new human and alien weapons. A single-player campaign spanning 10 massive indoor and outdoor environments. And support for intense multiplayer battles with up to 16 of your friends. Or enemies. All that wrapped up in an epic sci-fi story that's so freaky. Whoa! It makes me shake just thinking about it. Halo, Combat Evolved. Buy one. Heck, buy two. That's an order, soldier.